Hi guys, so today I'm going to do a video about first trimester tips, tricks. Honestly, I was very questionable about even trying to do this because everybody's experience is so drastically different. So I tried to think of things that would go for anybody regardless. And so I thought of 5 things. So the first thing that I want to say is number 1 and 2 kind of go together. So number 1 is to make sure you eat when you are hungry. So I think a lot of people try to focus really hard on eating first thing in the morning, eating while you're still in bed to prevent morning sickness. And that works for a lot of people. Don't get me wrong. If that works for you, that's fantastic. Please do that. Or they focus on eating 3 meals and they try to make sure that they're just eating consistently and let me make sure I eat every single 2 hours or whatever. And they think that's going to prevent it. But the fact of the matter is, I've had 2 experiences now that were similar in the sense that I felt nauseous, but very not similar in the sense of how to go about it. And so in my first pregnancy with the twins, I had really bad nauseousness in the morning. First thing when I woke up, I would want, maybe not first thing in the morning I would throw up, but pretty early in the morning I would throw up. It was very bad in the early morning. I would get a little bit less of a wave, maybe around like 9-10 a.m. And then it was pretty bad until I would say about 2-3 o'clock. And from about 3 to 5, I had a 2-hour break where I felt normal. And then from 5 to I went to sleep, I would be wanting to throw up again. Usually I would mostly throw up in the morning and just be nauseous in the evening. But then this time it's been a complete difference. So in the morning when I wake up, I'm fine, totally fine, feel totally normal. And it went, well, now it's getting a little better, like I said in the update, leaving my first trimester at this point. But what it's been like throughout the majority of the first trimester was that in the morning I was fine. There's been a couple mornings where I'm like, but most of the time I'm completely fine until about 1 o'clock. And at 1 o'clock, it was like just a switch flipped. And all of a sudden it was just like, I can't function, I can't eat, I can't do anything. So my main thing was to try to make sure I got enough nutrients in myself in that morning time that if I needed to have a huge break from eating or just sip at something or just nibble at something, then I could do that and I would have enough nutrients in my body from earlier in the day. And whereas with the girls, I would try to kind of eat breakfast, but usually it was more like drinking something. I would make sure that I eat in the middle of the day, and I would try to make sure that I have something to sip on at the very minimum in the evening. So you have to eat when you're hungry. When you feel like you're okay, make sure that you go after that to eat then, because that's going to be the time when you're most likely to keep it down, obviously, right? So 2 kind of goes with that, which is eat whatever you feel like you need. I don't care if you feel like you need an ice cream cake. I don't care if you need a donut or coffee or whatever. Obviously there's limits to everything. There are things that aren't healthy. Not safe to have when you're growing a life inside of you. We're told not to eat cold deli meat or fish or anything like that. A lot of stuff that I already don't do, honestly. I'm a vegetarian. So, but in moderation, or like in a way that you're still having it, but it's in a safe way, or whatever. Mostly I'm talking about sweets. If you want a soda, drink a soda. If you want a frappuccino, drink a frappuccino. If you want a donut, eat a donut. I went through a phase earlier where all I wanted was donuts in the morning. I would think about Krispy Kreme. I don't even like donuts, but I wanted to eat donuts. So I go to Krispy Kreme like 3 times a week and get half a dozen donuts. And that just, it worked for me, you know? I think people are really caught up also on wanting to make sure that they're eating healthy, because your body needs certain nutrients and certain vitamins, and all of this is absolutely true. Don't get me wrong, completely true. But when you're in the thick of it, really all you want to do is just make sure that you're having what you can keep down, you know? The last thing I'm going to be concerned with is making sure that I have like a balanced diet when I'm just trying to struggle to make it through the day, you know? And I feel like that pretty much goes for anybody. A lot of things that I don't like are things that are typically told that you should have during this time, like ginger or like peppermint stuff. And I like peppermint, but in moderation, you know? I'm not gonna have like a peppermint hard candy. It's too much, in my opinion. For me personally, it's not my style. So, you know, have what you want, have what you're craving, and have what you can keep down. So number 3 is let housework fall to the side. And what I mean by that is don't try to do too much, you know? If you need to just sit on your bed because your partner is at work, or maybe you're a single mom, you know? I've been there, I've done that. Obviously, I was pregnant at the time. I didn't have little ones, but I have had little ones and not been pregnant. I was a single mom until they were 20 months old. So, you know, I get it. Sometimes you just need a break. Sometimes you just need to relax. You just need to sit. And it's really hard as a mom to not feel guilty when you're not entertaining your kids, or like playing with them, or making sure that you're like teaching them stuff, or you know, just little things like that. Making sure you're cleaning up after them, making sure that your house isn't a wreck. I know a lot of people, if you're married and it's just the two of you with the kids, you want your partner to be able to come home and not come home to a wreck, you know? But during these weeks, if you don't have the energy to do it, just don't do it, because the last thing you want to do is expend all of your energy trying to make sure that the house is clean and that food is made and stuff, and then not be able to sleep because you can't relax because you need to throw up or something, you know? It's just, you really gotta make sure that you use your energy sparingly, is what I mean, you know? And do what you can, but don't overthink it, you know? So number 4 is don't stress little things, is how I worded it. But what I mean by that also, it also kind of goes with number 3, I'm seeing this now, is that like if you forget to take your prenatal pill one day, or a couple days in a row, or maybe you just don't want to because you're just not feeling like you can that day. I've been there. I was there with the twins. I probably didn't take my prenatal pills at all between weeks, I don't know, 8 and 11. Maybe I took them a couple times, but they turned out perfectly fine. So, you know, do what you can, do the best you can. Prenatal pills are very, very, very important. Like I said before about the nutrients, those vitamins are very important. You want to make sure you have folic acid. You want to make sure you have iron so that you're not anemic. You want to make sure everything's going good. But don't do it at a point where it's going to make you feel worse. And that also goes with, you know, everything else. Like I said, it kind of ties back to cleaning also, is, you know, don't do anything that's going to make it worse for you, you know? And the last thing is, and I think we all say this, every single video I've seen, is that it will end. And in my case, I really like being pregnant, the 2nd and 3rd trimester at least, or that's how I felt with the girls. I really enjoyed it. The second that the morning sickness stopped, I was in love with pregnancy. I loved my bump. I loved my body. I felt so confident with myself. But the first trimester sucks for most people, you know? You're nervous about telling people, you don't feel nice, you don't, maybe, you know, maybe hormones are making you feel like you don't look as nice as you were in other ways. Like, maybe you have acne or dry skin, or your hair is flat, or, you know, whatever the situation. I know the hormones are obviously highest in the beginning, and so if there are going to be problems, a lot of times that's in the first trimester. I promise that it will end. For morning sickness, mine ended with the girls officially fully at 22 weeks, and hopefully now mine is kind of going away, and it will hopefully be gone by the time I'm, you know, at least 16 weeks. But it will end in some way or another. I know sometimes people are throwing up until the day they give birth, and that's, you know, but even that ends. Everything will end. And you'll have your baby, you'll have your belly bump, you'll have whatever it is that you're looking forward to the most in the short term. You will have that, because this doesn't last forever, and it will end, I promise. So those are just 5 things that I thought of. Leaving my first trimester, I kind of just wanted to make something about it, you know. So thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a fabulous day.